Decision you party's decision to elect a flag bearer in the 2028 general election next year, which is January 31st, 2026. And the more or less discussion that has dominated this announcement by the party. If you're aware, yesterday, the party also launched what it calls the Patriotic Institute, more or less like an ideological institute for the NPP, where the party seeks to groom persons who seek to lead the NPP or have important roles to play in the party and the party's well-being. Today on Situation Room, we'll discuss the recent developments within the NPP, the launch of the Patriotic Institute, and the party's decision to indeed elect a flag bearer first for the 2028 general election, and the campaign activities within the various flag bearer aspirants or the individuals who have decided to put their foot forward in leading the party into the crucial election of 2028. My name is Sami Wiafe, and this is The Situation. When we come back from the break, I'll tell you who I'll do the show with and our guest for today.
Some movies change the world, and you'll find them elsewhere. And Net Movies 4 is just in it to change your mood. Great. Yes, I can. Oh, I'm so excited. They turn an ordinary night into something awesome. Make you laugh louder, smile bigger, and feel like a kid all over again.
Yay! This is gonna be so much fun!
The only thing our movies are seriously serious about is making you happy. All month long. On Mnet Movies 4 for the easy, cheesy, silly, funny, snort laugh classic movies of your life.
Meet Asantua, a loving wife, devoted mother of one, and a celebrated business owner in her community. Asantua has worked hard to save money, but struggled to find the right investment opportunity. With big dreams and a heart for her community, she always aspired to build a business that could provide for her family and create a lasting impact. Yet, meaningful business ownership opportunities were hard to come by until she discovered Jibu. Partnering with Jibu changed everything. Through her franchise network, Asantua received the equipment, training and support she needed to launch her own business. Purifying and selling affordable, refillable drinking water, soon her investments began yielding strong returns, transforming not only her livelihood but also her community and environment. Today, Asantua's dreams are becoming a reality. Through her Jibu franchise, she's creating jobs, empowering others, providing clean water, and building a brighter future for all. Jibu is transforming lives across Africa with a presence in over 8 countries and 10,000 communities. Join the movement and start your journey towards a better life. Contact us today on 020-984-5817. Jibu, a better life.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Situation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe, and as always, I do this show with my friend, brother, and colleague Fred Tete Yiadom. Fred, how are you?
Sami, I'm doing well.
An eventful week it's been.
Eventful. Actually, it got more eventful yesterday, but then, as usual, as news people, every week it's eventful.
We expect more of this to happen.
There are weeks when it's more eventful.
It's dry week.
There are other weeks where, I mean, it's a very regular week. But yesterday, the Chief Justice really made the week very eventful.
So we discussed one. The NPP has also been in the news. This week we also heard someone officially declaring that I'm now going to contest.
Yes, we heard Brian Echampo officially declaring. He had told us some weeks ago about a committee has set up, exploratory committee had set up to go around the country to hear from the people whether he should contest, and he will take his decision based on that. This week, he officially confirmed and made the announcement that he was going to contest, went to the Presbyterian Church to be laid, for hands to be laid on him to start the campaign. So yes, he has officially said he's going to run. There's been a back and forth within the camps of the various aspirants, people accusing people of one thing, others trying to say the other thing, all in a bid to whip up support for candidates. So it's been very eventful. And in the midst of that, the party has also been reacting, trying to call everybody to order. We've heard from the former president, who's also been speaking. So yes, quite eventful on the NPP side. And on the legal side too, very eventful. As I mentioned earlier, the Chief Justice had been in the news yesterday. For a very long time since this process began, we've heard people speak on their behalf through lawyers and everything. But for the very first time, her ladyship, Gertrude Iraba Isaba Tokonu, Saki Tokonu, openly spoke to the Ghanaian people through the media. She raised concerns about various things, including what she feels are breaches to the law. One of her major concerns was the fact that, one, she doesn't believe that she's been treated fairly because she's not sure whether the petition she has is the same petition the committee has. She requested, according to her, requested for the petition which was given to the committee which is actually looking into the case. And they denied her the opportunity to have the petition that they were given with the excuse that it's the same thing the president had given to her and she had responded to it. But she believes that once a committee has been set up and the legal processes begin, the committee, which now would assume to be a court, would also offer her that petition and say, this is the petition in which we are looking into, and this is the petition in which we are going to hear you. According to her, that hasn't been done. Even upon request, she was denied. She's also raised concerns. This concern she's raised before in one of her applications, her application before the Supreme Court, about the fact that she was denied legal representation on the first day. According to her, her lawyers who represented her on the first day were not given hearing because she was not present, and she felt that is unfair. She's also raised concerns with the venue for
where this whole hearing is taking place.
Where the whole hearing is taking place. She says that that venue in history
reminds her of, some developments.
Yes, it reminds her of some development. But actually, she also argues that, look, in terms of all these Article 146 hearings over the years in the Fourth Republic, these hearings have been held at the Judicial Service, the offices of the Judicial Service. This time round, it's been moved from the Judicial Service and it's been sent to this place around the Osu Castle, which reminds her of something which took place some years ago.
Years back.
What she says is that her uncle, who was her guardian, was murdered or was shot, was killed. And that was the last place, according to her, she was sent. She referred to the SIB report, which was put out. She's also raised concerns about the fact that she's not been able to, or she wasn't given the opportunity to cross-examine the witnesses or the applicants or plaintiffs in this particular case. Under normal circumstances, she believes that once somebody brings an accusation against you and makes allegations against you, you should be able to examine the person, cross-examine the person, to know exactly what the person is saying and to be able to challenge the allegations the person has made against you. She also went through the 3 petitions which she claims she's being charged on. The Chief Justice, this is a claim because she's not sure of what the committee has and what she's not sure whether it's the same petition she's holding. She went through and says that, look, these petitions were frivolous. This is the case of the Chief Justice. But, right after the Chief Justice responded to this or held a press conference, the government immediately also came to respond, indicating that they have gone through the process. They are going through the process. They are following the law. When you look at Article 146, it directs you as to exactly what you should do. And government says that they have gone through exactly to the letter what Article 146 demands of them to do. The president receives a petition, forwards it to the Council of State. The Council of State will then make a prima facie case. Whatever, if it finds a prima facie case, refers to the president, a committee is set up. They even went on to indicate that they gave the Chief Justice an opportunity to even respond to the allegations when she raised concerns about the fact that she had not been given or she had not seen the petition. So for them, they have gone through the process and they believe that they are constitutionally right. They haven't done anything. They denied the allegation of political witch hunt, which the Chief Justice believes she's going through. They denied that. Other private legal people have been speaking. There are people who side with the Chief Justice who believe that, look, human rights are being infringed upon and that she should go, she has every right to come to the public, to a court of public opinion to put out her issues. Because if you are not being treated right, and you think that you have used all the means possible to get what you claim to be right, or a lawful ways, or a lawful treatment, you haven't been able to get that. What you need to do is to now come to the court of public opinion where everybody hears your case. So yes, there are legal people who believe that that is what she was left with and that is what she has done.
Interesting development.
There are other people who also believe that, no, you as Chief Justice know what the law is, you know what the Constitution says, and you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. They even have a challenge with her coming to the media to speak about it, citing Article 146, which says that the hearings should be in secret. So they are actually worried about the fact that the Chief Justice would come out and break the law. That's what they claim. Less, by breaking the law, by coming to speak of proceedings which is expected or you are demanded to keep secret. They've also raised concerns about the fact that the Chief Justice is talking about a broken justice system. And they are saying that there's a justice system which you presided over 3 years. Are you now realizing that this justice system is broken? So yes, from both parties, there are people who agree with her, there are people who disagree with her. And what we are told, and from the information we gather, is that the committee is done with this hearing. What needs to be done is that the parties in the case will now have to file their submissions to the committee. The committee will then would determine what the way to go, whether to find the Chief Justice guilty based on the evidence provided, or to find the Chief Justice not guilty based on the evidence provided. Then whatever would happen from there.
When they're coming with, we should get a final report on this.
We are not sure. We are not sure.
They were not given a timeline.
We are not sure of the timeline, but what we can say is that we are told that the parties in the case will now have to submit or bring to the committee their submissions. So just like you go through a court system, when you make your arguments and everything, the parties or your lawyers are now asked to make a submission, a written submission. And so the committee is now expecting the written submission of the representatives for plaintiffs and defendants in this matter, and then we'll make a determination as to the way forward in the case.
All right, Fred, thank you. Away from the Chief Justice and her issues, the NPP. We go back to the NPP. I read an article you wrote in respect of the party's decision to, set an early date for Congress to elect a flag bearer. If you're aware, I think in July, the party will go for national conference to adopt some, amendments to the party's constitution. Interesting article you wrote. And you even just opposed it with some biblical. I never knew you were that religious.
I mean,
I really have funny one. But then we'll go into details of.
I am surprised. I am surprised at what you are saying. The world is looking at you. I've known you to be a very man who is truthful.
Don't
But,
get
I mean,
me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy. It's an interesting read. I enjoy reading it. But then we'll talk about the religious aspect of it. So talking about the NPP, there's this research or polls put together by a group known as the African Policy Lens. It talks about the party's preparation for the internal election, and also a poll that seems to have put Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia ahead of other candidates, ahead of the party's, Congress to elect a new presidential candidate come January 2026. As you aware, the party said on Saturday, 31st of January, it will elect a flag bearer before thinking of electing other officers within the party. Fred and I have been going through this particular, research or polls or survey put together by the African Policy Lens, and they believe that Dr. Bawumia is the front runner as far as the party's primary is concerned, and they give a number of, reasons why a few or the NPP individual, the respondent they spoke to, believe that Dr. Bawumia should be given another chance to lead the NPP into the 2028 general election. In a short while, we'll speak to the authors behind this particular post and ask them a few questions, how they arrived at this decision. My friend, from what you read through, what percentage did they give, this?
So the report indicates that they spoke to a large number of people, and then based on the breakdown, they realized that the people they spoke to were both NDC and NPP, so there were a mix of people. The conclusion of the report indicates that 70% of the people who are NPP members or people who belong to the NPP believe that Dr. Bawumia is the right man to lead the party into the 2028 elections. 70% of them believe that. 35% of them do not. That 35, according to the report, are NDC people who are affiliated or support the NDC.
Okay.
When you go to Kennedy Japan, who is also one of the lead contenders in this particular case, there are 48% of the people who believe that he should lead the MPP. But this 48%, according to the report, are NDC people who are affiliated to the NDC. 21% of them who are MPP believe that he should lead. So 70% of the people who are MPP believe Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia should lead. 21% of them, these are MPP people, believe that Honorable Kennedy Japan should. Honorable Chairman Sambonsu came up in this report and they said 1% think that he's the right person to lead. We had Honorable Boakye Jako, who had 2.3% believe that he should lead. Then Kwabena Japan also has about 2%, 2.5%.
Kwabena has not declared his intention yet.
He hasn't officially declared his intention, but we are told, we are reliably informed that he will be contesting this particular election. Dr. Brian Champon, who officially declared his intent this week, at the time did not really do well, probably because at the time he had not officially declared. Maybe now he has declared and things will change. And we have people, about 1.6 of the respondents, who said they were undecided. So yes, when you look at the report and everything, you realize that from the report, a large number of NPP supporters believe that Alhaji Bawumia should be the leader of the party.
Okay.
And 21% think that
it should be Kennedy
Japan. And then it tells you where the race is going.
Yeah.
And this report was done in February. As of February, the two leading candidates in this race was Kennedy Japan and Dr. Bawumia. We are in June now. I'm sure
the dynamics may change.
Dynamics will change, looking at what the number of people who have declared. In this particular report, we didn't have Dr. Educhum.
Yeah.
I'm sure
as of that time, he hadn't declared his intention.
As of that time, he hadn't declared his intention. So as and when, from February to June, maybe something would have changed. But then this is what the report says. And this is what, according to the report, NPP supporters and NPP sympathizers believe the NPP should go.
Okay.
The way the NPP
I'll come back to you, but let's speak to the people behind this research. And Dr. Eric Yao. So we speak to the people involved in this whole research. Let's speak to Dr. Eric Boakye Yiadom, a fellow at the Africa Policy Lens. They put together this particular report or survey or polls ahead of the party's preparation to elect a flag bearer come January 31st, 2026. Doc, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time.
Good afternoon, Sami, and thank you for having me.
First of all, how did you arrive at this conclusion?
So, like you rightly mentioned, we set out to find out two things. Number one, why NPP lost the 2024 elections, and who is the best candidate to lead them going into 2028. Somewhere in February, we started this particular engagement, and we used a sample size of about 4,160. If we use a simple sample size calculator with a confidence interval of 99 and a margin of error of 2, you obviously come using a population of 18.77 million Ghanaian voters, will come to the sample size that we have as in 4,160. So we spread this across the various 276 constituencies, and we selected key polling stations, I think numbering around 832 polling stations. And those selected polling stations, we interviewed at least 5 people from each polling station so that we can have a fair understanding of what is happening in every region and in every constituency. So the approach is simple. We train about 21 enumerators who were tasked to at least interview about 20 people a day. And the criteria was such that you cannot interview more than 2 people from the same household to avoid groupthink. You see, when you enter a house and you have, let's say, 5 people and you intend to interview all of them, if they all have the same political lineage or ideologies, the response will not vary much. So as a caveat, the enumerators were not to interview more than 2 people. And the good thing is that we have a tracking system in the computer-assisted device that they were using. So at every point in time, we're able to track where every enumerator is. And if you are interviewing people who are clustered around a certain region, there will be an indication for our monitoring team to tell whether the enumerator is doing the right thing or not. So generally, this is a process that we went through across the length and breadth of the country to do this particular study.
In your interview with the respondent, do you let them do they tell you about their political affiliations? Because in your research, there are some parts who said NDC people will prefer this candidate, NPP people will prefer this candidate.
So if I will go into the results of the study, first of all, the one you mentioned or you discussed with your colleague was an in-sampling. When we say in-sampling, that is within the sample, you sample again to find a particular characteristics that may inform voters' decisions. The first thing that if we take the general respondent of the 4,160, this is the outcome. The outcome is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, about 52% of the total respondent of 4,160 think that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the right candidate to lead the NPP in the lead up to 2028 elections. Then Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapon has 36% of the respondents saying that he too can lead the party. The minority group, we have some to be about 2%, like Brian Champon and the rest. Their numbers are largely low. So if you are looking at the main outcome of the research, is the fact that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading with 52 and Honorable Kennedy is around 36. Then when we do the in-sampling, because the people that we interviewed, obviously, because we are going into the polling station, and it's not delegate specific, we are going to have a mix of people. So we went further to find out what is your political affiliation. So it is in that we found that about 70.6% of the NPP respondents are saying that Dr. Bawumia should lead the party. And 21.4, I think when your colleague was interpreting or was reading the result, he read it horizontal, but it's actually vertical. That when you take the NPP supporters, 21.4 of them are in favor that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is capable of leading the party, whereas 70.6 are in favor of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Then when you take the NDC respondents, we have 48.4 in favor of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong and 35.3. So yes, to answer your question, beyond the global picture, the general picture of who should lead the party, we did the in-sampling to segregate the respondent from NPP, NDC, and other parties. There are some that didn't indicate the party they are affiliated. So to say, there could be floating voters. So when you take the floating voters, we have 42.0 of them in favor of Honorable Ohene Agyapong Kennedy. And we have 44.5% who are in favor of Dr. Bawumia, asking or suggesting that even when we come to floating voters, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is about 3.5 percentage points ahead of Ohene Agyapong Kennedy, Honorable. So this is the dynamics we have, that it appears that Honorable Kennedy, Ohene Agyapong, is appealing to the NDC supporters more than the NPP supporters.
You did this work in February. At that time, quite a number of the persons who have declared their intentions now had not declared. And so if you should go back today, would the dynamics change?
Yeah, so before we'll come out with this results, last week in May, we went across the country, but this time we didn't engage the large sample. We went to find out whether the sentiment we had as at February has changed or it is the same. And I can say that when you take the global picture of 52 against 36, the dynamics hasn't changed much as at our last visit to the field in the last week of May, that we went to find out whether the sentiment has changed. Yes, of course, Honorable Dr. Aduchum was not included, but I do not think, based on the understanding we have in May, that if we bring Dr. Aduchum into the picture, it won't change the results much, because the minority group, I say minority group, including Brian Achampong and Dr. Aduchum, they are controlling in the region of about 5 to 6%, which will not change the results much.
Doc, in your survey, did the respondents give an indication as to the reasons for their choice?
Yes. For example, we asked that Dr. Bawumia had just lost an election. Won't it be fair that we bring a fresh candidate, looking at the fact that NDC is likely to also bring a new candidate so that they will start on a clean plate? But the respondent gave several reasons. One of them is that in the history of the NPP, you do not go to election and win one touch. And therefore, it is fair to give Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the opportunity to go again. Then we cite the example that, no, you cannot say that one time the person should go again, because we have a history. In 1992, when Professor Dubois went, the first time he didn't win, the party changed and brought
John Kufuor.
Former President Kufuor in 1986. Then another school of the argument, or another group also argued that when President Kufuor came, did he win? So if we want to follow that tradition, then it seems that the NPP is not ready to win in 2028. Should they change and bring a new candidate to contest? Now, another argument they made, those in favor for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is that the NPP has been tagged as an Akan party, and this is the first time they are having a Northerner to lead the party. Should they change him, it will confirm the tag that yes, all the Akan people that came were given second, or in some cases third chance to compete or contest. But you see that they have changed the northern, so it will in a way weaken the NPP going to the northern part of the country. So another reason is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if we take President Mahama out, he is one of the most marketed let's say, presidential candidate in the country. So, and all that will be said about him has already been said, and probably the party may need to has already found antidote to those accusations and counter accusations. And if he could be pushed a little, he would do better in going to 2028 election. When you bring a new candidate, you have to now go and solve probably all the accusations that the opposition or the other party may bring, and it will be hard to market a new candidate to win the 2028 elections. Some also are of the view that, yes, the digitalization agenda that the man started, it caught up with some people, and they feel that if he comes in 2020, he may be able to continue those developmental projects. Now, connecting it to the main reason why NPP lost, that was also one of the research arms and the reasons that we went out. It was purely because of the economic challenges we had at the time, which overshadowed all the developmental projects that the government has done. So they are saying that if they are able to position themselves properly and even campaign on the infrastructure that the previous government has already done, they are sure that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is likely to have a slight edge over anybody that NDC will bring going into 2028 elections.
And Doc, finally, and when you look at the regional breakdown of your result, what does it say with regards to the two leading candidates?
So out of the 16 regions, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading in 12 of them. In all the northern parts of the country, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading. If I have your permission, I will say that he's leading in Western region, Greater Accra, Eastern region, Ashanti, Bono East, Oti, Northern, Savannah, Northeast, Upper East, and Upper West. So these are the 12 regions that the former vice president is leading. Then if we take Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, he is also leading in Central region, which is one of his strongholds. And in Volta region, he appeals more in Volta region, and Western North. Then when you come to Ahafo is split between Honorable Kennedy Ejapong and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So yes, the general appeal across the region tilts towards Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Okay, Doc, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. You had Dr. Eric Yaobuache, a senior fellow at the African Policy Lens. They came up with a research about the NPP's upcoming presidential primaries. And he says that 70% of respondents, over 4,000 respondents, they spoke to believe that Dr. Bawumia should be given the chance to lead the party again going into the 2028 general election. This is the situation. We're coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe, and I'm here with Fred Tete Jaban. When we come back, we'll still discuss more issues within the NPP. On Wednesday, the party launched what it calls the Patriotic Institute, an institution where the party believes will groom persons who seek to lead the NPP into future elections or future activities of the party. When we come as well, we'll also speak to a political historian to tell about the recent campaigning within the NPP as the party prepares for its internal election.
This June, the business wave is back and it's bigger than ever. The City Business Festival 2025 on City FM and Channel 1 TV, where it's all about business. This June, we will be celebrating Ghanaian businesses, re-examining our business modules and practices through our business fora, and sharing knowledge through our on-air business discussions. Make a business date with the on-air series every weekday at 9 a.m. on the City Breakfast Show on 97.3 City FM and 10 a.m. on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. From expert interviews to real-world insights to the tools you need to grow. Don't miss a single moment this June. It's the City Business Festival 2025, celebrating everything business. Only on City FM and Channel 1 TV. Your business, your future, your time is now. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and let's grow together. The City Business Festival 2025, celebrating everything business.
The City Business Festival 2025 is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV, and it's proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN Business, and Zonda Tech Ghana Limited.
Let's get into the world of sports like never before.
You know how we do it on Fridays.
Join us every Friday at 7 p.m. on 97.3 City FM for Sports Panorama, your ultimate destination for all things sports.
One of the biggest scandals in this country's history. You can't spend 250 million USD and come out with that.
From the thrill of association football to the excitement of basketball, tennis, athletics, and even emerging sports, we cover it all. Whether it's the Premier League or the latest NBA showdown, we bring you the stories behind the stars.
Getting an opportunity to become a national team coach, you should understand the politics around football.
And don't miss the prayer of the rabbi.
Joe was Zebaut. How Zebaut there? Zebaut won Chaboke.
We're not just about the games, we're about the community.
If you are going to be given this kind of treatment, then you need to be that guy. When I look at him play, he is not it.
Or when it's time for Don't Call Me.
Join
the conversation as we connect with fans across the country and beyond. Want the latest updates? Send us your thoughts and we'll feature your comments live on air. And remember, we like to hear your predictions for matches and your thoughts in general. Think you know who's going to win? Let us know.
Big shout outs to my YouTube people.
Tune in every Friday at 7 p.m. only on 97.3 City FM. Sports Panorama, where sports come alive. Sports Panorama, your weekly sports fix. Don't miss out on the action. Sports Panorama, catch the excitement every Friday.
You're welcome back. You're still watching the Citiuation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiaf, and I'm here with Fred Tete Yiadom. Just a while ago, we spoke to Dr. Eric Yiadom, a fellow at the African Policy Lens. They carried out a research about the NPP's internal election, and they say that over the 4,000 respondents they spoke to, 70% of NPP respondents believe that Dr. Bawumia should be given another chance to lead the NPP go into the 2028 general election. If you are aware, the party has set Saturday, 31st of January 2026 to elect a flag bearer who will lead the party go into the 2028 general election. As you're aware as well, yesterday on Wednesday, the party launched what it calls the Patriotic Institute. They believe that it will be an institution where the party will groom leaders within the Dankwa Buzia Dombo tradition, where persons who seek to lead the party or imbibe in them the ideologies of the party's doctrine will be trained in this particular institute and become who they want to be as far as the NPP and the political party is concerned. It comes on the back of a similar one that has been done by the NDC. I think the Social Institute or something.
Ghana Institute of Social Democracy.
Yes, Ghana Institute. Yeah, so it's similar to what the NDC has done. So the two main political parties want to have their own ideological institute where the parties will train young leaders who will later on become leaders of the party and imbibe in them the other things the party represents. So at this particular event, the launch was done by former President John Agyekum Kufuor, a very respected figure within the politics of Ghana, and then the NPP, one of the elders of the party. And he made a number of comments. It has to do with the party's upcoming internal primaries. And he believes that the way and manner the campaigning within the party is going is not right within the NPP. And so they believe that the tensions should be down. The tribal sentiment and the religious sentiment in the party should not be encouraged, because if it does, it will divide the NPP as a political party, and the unity the party wants going into the 2028 election may not be there for the NPP to recapture political power in the 2028 general election. Let's hear what former President John Agyekum Kufuor said, and then we'll come back to the studio and have a discussion on it.
Admit, we are democratic. We uphold common humanity. So, and democracy really doesn't go in for tribe or religion or gender. It's the individual. One man, one vote. And if we want power, we want to present a person who would be convincing to the generality of the electorate. Can this man we are presenting help solve problems for the community at large, so the benefit spreads across the board for all? We look at that this way. If we tell the truth to ourselves, we may see that the way we've been brushed by our opponents from way back. Oh, you are a tribal party. Oh, these days we are including even religion. You do that, and it comes from our mouths, then I tell you, we are perpetuating Kokrudu, what we should be doing to get out of we are in a rut, a chasm, a deep gorge we've been put in there. If we do not change our minds and do not think critically and then seek solutions through hard thinking, I'm telling you, touch wood, look, we wouldn't be the first party that went out of operation. I can't mention names, but a party that used to be like the only party around. Where is it now? Where is it now? Do we want to go that way? Then please, let's be self-critical. Let's be self-critical. Huh? And when we face the hard facts and we are strategizing, taking into account the positives and negatives, knowing ourselves, and then knowing our opponents, and then knowing the terrain, the people, the general people of Ghana, not taking them for granted, because, as I said, the electoral history should show an electorate that can change its vote within 4 years, like we experienced from 2016 to 2020, and then from 2020 to 2020, knows what it's about. Most of the electorate now, they are on campuses, university campuses. Places that used to be our readouts, our citadels, Legon, and how did we fare in Legon last election? Even with our own children there. Please, so we have serious homework. The ancient wise people, they said, make haste slowly. Make haste slowly. Don't rush, don't stampede, thinking that is the way to find solutions. No, we are dealing with all due respect, very wise electorate. And then As I said, you may be my brother. If I feel you've never dribbled me or tricked me to get to some point, and then you get there, you turn around to me, oh, come and support me. I may bow, oh, yeah. But seriously, I may deceive you. I may not come. Fair play should be the order of the day with us. We are democratic. We believe in justice. Our motto is freedom, development in freedom. And we want to feel like everybody is getting counted. So please, let's go back to the drawing board. Look at ourselves critically. Look at our opponents. Look at Ghana generally. Because the whole idea, you get the party to ask for power from Ghana, the people of Ghana, with the promise you're going to serve Ghana. If you forfeit the trust, you forfeit the trust, the people will show you. People talk monetization. Monetization, everybody is angry. There's so much unemployment. We tend to know people. Today you get to some position and then you manage to get some money. When it comes to vote, you want to come and give me money. Oh, go and vote for me. Well, because I'm angry, I may take. But in my mind's eye, this guy I used to know, we used to share cocoa or something together. Now he is coming to buy me to go there so he would continue to enjoy, and me, I won't even have access to him. So they'll chop your money, then they go and vote against you. Then you turn around to blame them. You must blame yourselves. When it happens like that, we must blame ourselves. Because the people, as poor as they are, they want quality service. Our principles are there, high principles. High principles. And I believe when we are talking party, we must know it's the principles we subscribe to, not the person who just on a temporary basis has been given the vote. Yes, Dankwa espoused democracy, but the party is not Dankwa. Buzia did, the party is not Buzia. Kufuor got the chance. Kufuor is not the party, not a Kufuor, not any one man. It's the principles, the undying principles. And if we'll all be true to the principles, then I tell you, our party is the party of now and the future. Ghana will continue to support us.
Former President John Agyekum Kufuor, a very respected figure within the NPP and a statesman in this country. Fred, deep words in there.
Really, really deep
words.
Really, really deep words. You see, when you listen to former President John Agyekum Kufuor, he's been the voice in the party, a voice of reason in the party for a very long time, since he left power in 2008. He's been a good voice of reason in the party. And where the party stands now, he's been there before. He's seen it. He's gone through it. He's also been able to guide the party when it found itself in the same position. And he's speaking. So, I mean, last week we had a conversation about the decision of the party to hold an early conference or early congress to elect a flag bearer. And like you said at the beginning of the show, I wrote an article, and the article was, it's lawful, but is it helpful? Quoting from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 23, where it says that all things are lawful to you, but are they helpful? All things are lawful, but would it edify? And you look at that quote, and you come and look at or you listen to what President Kufuor is telling you. He says, what? You need to hasten slowly. You are a party which has just come out of one of your biggest defeats in recent times. A party which is now trying to reorganize itself. A party which sets a committee to go and investigate and look into how come you lost so badly, not just presidential, but parliamentary. The first thing you need to do as a party is to look into yourself, like former President Kufuor said. Look, examine, take time, sit back, watch, listen, and come to a conclusion and say, these are the reasons why I lost. These we could do better, These we could position this way, this we could change this way. After doing that, like he says, now look at your opponent. What is your opponent doing? How is your opponent faring? What are the things they've done right? What are the things they did not do right? Because don't forget, what your opponent, or where you are, your opponent has been there before. How did they come through all these things? Now that they're in government, what are they doing? Are they doing the right things? Are we checking them the way we are supposed to check them? Then you come and ask yourself after that, what are Ghanaians saying? As we speak now, in this country, what are the sentiments of the citizens of the country? One, to our party. One, to the way the country is being governed now, and how the country was governed in the past. Yeah. When you look at all those things, without any prejudice, and put everything aside, and genuinely look at that, now you may come to a conclusion and say, this is where we belong, or this is where we find ourselves. These are the things we need to look at. These are the things we need to fix. After that, then you come, now, how do we move the party forward? Which direction are we going with the party? In the next 4 years, in the next 8 years, in the next 12 years, in the next 20 years, where do we want our party to be? What kind of party do we want to grow and develop? These are the things you'll be looking at. When you finish doing that, now you can now come and ask yourself, who is the person to lead the party to where we want it to get to? But for me, I don't think the NPP has done that. I don't believe the NPP has done that. You see, I understand the argument of, everything is about the presidential elections, and the people have started fighting amongst themselves. Everybody is going to break the party. It's going to break the party. It's going to break a party. But what is having a leader who you want to unite a party when the base and the reasons and the foundations of the party have not been fixed? Why are you leading the party?
But the Professor Michael Okoye report, no, we've not seen the report. Only a few people have. Maybe there could be a recommendation in there for an early Congress to help cure development in the party, for instance, disunity and the rest. So maybe they are going according to the dictates of the recommendation of the Professor Michael Okoye report.
That is true.
I've not seen the report. You've not seen it. Yes. They say only a few people have seen the report. Maybe that is the aspect of the recommendation on party unity.
What are some of the reasons the party assigned for them losing in the 2028 elections? They said their people did not turn out.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Who are they? They are the party people.
The base.
The base of the party. They are the base of the party. You understand? So if you tell me that the base of your party did not turn out to go and vote, there are reasons assigned to the reasons why they didn't turn out. Now you decide
and it could be that the same base of the party is telling you to elect a flag bearer early enough.
Sami,
it could be. I'm just assuming.
It could be. That's what the base is saying. But Sami, look, when you want to fix something, right, you fix it right. There's no quick fixes do not end you up anywhere. You understand? We may have a quick fix. It will solve a problem for us.
For a short period of time.
But it's for a short period. So why don't you take your time to fix what the situation is? For example, the two of us have been given the opportunity to lead the newsroom, to do something.
Yeah.
When we finish our job, we perform very terribly. Right? We perform very terribly. Then we decide that, instead of putting ourselves up for people to actually judge what we have done, we put that aside and say, look, let's bring in a new leadership or somebody else to replace who would lead us from where we've got into. There are same people going to lead, organize that process.
That transition.
Do you understand? Where lies the power of the people to be able to look at you and say, I gave you this duty, I gave you this job, you've done well, you haven't done well, so I want to keep you. Where lies that? Secondly, we talk about, these 7 people who belong to the polling station, 7 polling station people, they are the people, there's nowhere in the constitution which says they cannot vote twice. That is true. So, I mean, the NPP hasn't broken any law in Article 12 in stating a date for a presidential election. But the question is, Sami, you are a polling station executive. I want to replace you as a polling station executive. Now you are saying that before I can replace you as a polling station executive, you who had failed us and sent us to opposition should now go and vote for a leader. Then after that, we'll hold an election. So I can come and beat you.
Yeah.
And then go and work for that leader to run the party. Are you being fair to me? You're not being fair to me. I'm saying that the party should take its time. That's my belief. The party should take its time. Like John Kufuor says, look into yourselves. Look into what Ghanaians are saying and look at what your opponents are doing. A deep introspection of everything which has happened in the last 8 years. From the former president to the national executives, to regional executives, to the flag bearer, to polling station executives, to constituency executives. A deep introspection of what has happened in the last 8 years. And ask yourself, where do we want to go? What do we want our party to become? Quick fixes will not send you anywhere. You need proper fixing. And for me, I think proper fixing takes time. Go through the process.
I don't think the party will spend all its time organizing internal elections, and by the time the party realizes 2028 is here already.
Sami, you talk
because
about...
in the last party's internal election, the party used 3 years to elect officers within the party. It took them 3 years for that election, from the polling station, electoral area coordinators, constituency executive, regional executives, national executives, and the flag bearer election. It took the party 3 solid years. So the party may want to ignore or leave, or maybe want to jump the process. So at least it doesn't spend all the time, instead of using it all the time to campaign, rather I prefer to use all the time for internal election. I will not have enough time for the flag bearer to campaign.
Between 2012 and 2014, 2013, 2012, how long did it take the party?
I've heard people argue that in 2012, in 2012-2013, the party elected a flag bearer first before the internal. I've heard people make those arguments.
That is not true. The two of us were in this country. The two of us.
I've heard people make those arguments.
Sami, just let us state the facts. The two of us covered that election. There was nowhere where the party held presidential elections before holding the national executive election between 2012 and 2015. That is absolutely not true. So if you are able to hold it in time, to elect a flag bearer in time, because Nana Addo was elected 2 clear years before the election.
Because that's what the party constitution says.
That's what the party says. How did you organize those internal elections from the polling station to executive, national executive within that period? How was it done?
Maybe the stakes were not high as we have it now.
Are we saying that there are incompetent people who are running the party? It's not true. I don't think the people running the party now are incompetent. I don't believe so.
Okay, take some water. The show has ended. Fred Jabano, my name is Sami Yafi. We brought you another exciting edition of The Citiuation that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. Till we come away again next week, may the good Lord be with us all.
You lead, always for the one. Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Hey, what was that sound? He really, really moves up. That's what it says. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right there. In times of trouble, he is my help. Yeah, I know no fear. I know he'll be right there. Hey, he really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Oh, hey, why would I doubt when he always comes through? My God really moves. Oh, he really, really moves. Oh, come on, sing the verse, y'all. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right. When I'm in trouble, he is my help.